Hello! My name is Roxy and I am the crafter behind Roxy's Craft. Welcome or welcome back to my channel. Welcome to week 2 check-in for my market prep or event prep that I am currently doing. This is, I guess because it's week 2, the second video of the series. I am going to just go over all the things that I have made this week. I'll go over the yarn that I used, the patterns that I used, and yeah, go from there, show everything that I've made, kind of discuss some of the things that I didn't end up finishing, and then finish off with what I have planned to make for the next week. I will also be inserting a clip a little bit later on in this video of a little sneaky yarn haul that I had while I was at Spotlight, but we'll get there when we get there. As made mention in my last week's video, I was selected to be a pattern tester for Crochet with Mishka. It was for this pattern right here, Little Gojo, or the little sorcerer, I guess. He turned out absolutely stinking cute. Like, I cannot. He's so little, he's so cute. You're able to remove his glasses because I simply just have them attached by bobby pins, and they are, oh my gosh, he's just too cute. I'm so happy with him. I feel extremely grateful and privileged to have not only been able to test patterns for her once, but now twice, and each and every time they are an absolute pleasure to test. They are so nice and easy, they whip up pretty quickly, and overall absolute enjoyable experience. So a little bit about Gojo. So Gojo is, as I made mention, from created from Crochet with Mishka. He should be releasing this week. Please go check out her Instagram if you wish to purchase the pattern. And yeah, he's made out of a mixture of honey bunny or hobby honey bunny and some parfait chunky. So the blacks are honey bunny, the skin tone and the white are also honey bunny, while the blue is navy from Premier Parfait Chunky. I had used a 5mm hook, and in the little eyes I had painted myself with I believe it was ice blue folk art metallic paint, and they're 15mm. And then, like I said, I'm using bobby pins to pin down the glasses because, you know, he's cute with it on. And overall, this pattern took me 4 hours and 42 minutes to make. I wasn't in a rush to make him. I kind of took my time. It took me a total of 3 days. Yeah, I did the body for the first day. The second day I had crocheted just the wig cap, and then the third day was, I guess, sewing on the wig cap to the head, because that's always the most labor intensive part about doing little characters. But overall he was such a pleasure to make. I really enjoyed him, and I can't wait to see who else is in the series that she'll be creating. So my plans for this week was to make 16 of these little ninja turtles, 4 of every color, so 4 of orange, 4 of red, 4 of blue and purple. However, I will admit, between the pattern testing and between just all the errands that I had to run this week, and then kind of getting sidetracked, which I'll show soon, I unfortunately did not get to finish all of them. I am pretty close. I've done all the bodies of all the little turtles. I've done the straps for all of them. I only 6 of them still need the little turtle shells to be made, and then basically I just have to sew on the turtle shell and the straps on every single one. I'll pause right here to show you, I guess, my little assembly line of all the turtles. Okay, so here is the, I guess, assembly line that I have of all the turtles. You obviously have the orange ones that I made last weekend, and then this week I was able to make all of the 4 red, blue and purple. Like I said, we have 10 of the shells, so I just need to make 6 more. Then we'll have, you know, all enough for all 16 turtles. And then I had already made all the 16 straps, and yeah, I did that pretty quickly because they're all just, you know, chains. Please excuse all the long tails, left long tails, because obviously they need to be sewn on to the turtles. The same goes with the straps. The straps goes on first, you sew it at the back, and then you sew on the turtle shells also on the back. And yeah, that's I guess my progress on the Ninja Turtles. I'll see you back shortly in the usual spot. So a little bit about this pattern. I had already more or less, you know, said everything in my previous video. It is made with a 4.5 hook. The eyes are I believe 16mm. The yarn that I used was Yarn Smith Chenille, and the pattern that I used was No Way Jose. I believe the eyes were 16, they may have been 14, but I'm pretty sure they are 16. And yeah, very simple pattern overall. It takes me about like an hour 20 to make. However, because I was doing it in a production line, I was able to make the little bodies within 29 minutes. And yeah, I was able to pump out all the straps within like 40 minutes, so that's 16 straps, and within an hour 20 I made 10 shells. So like I said, I still have 6 more shells to go, and then just all the sewing and adding, I guess, the stuffing to each of the shells. So hopefully by Wednesday, Thursday, I'll finally have them done. I will admit I'm a bit stressed because, you know, my hopes and dreams was to already finish these by Sunday, and you know, now it's Monday the 13th, so not really going to plan. And yeah, I will say, yeah, a little bit nerve-wracking, but I'm sure I'll be able to catch up hopefully this week. I was thinking over the weekend of just, you know, waking up at 5 a.m. in the morning and then just kind of going to town, because on Saturday I do have a couple of extra errands to run. Plus this week I'm being yet again kind of sidetracked, but we'll talk about that shortly. But yeah, that's my little update on the little Ninja Turtles. So as I made mention, I kind of got sidetracked, not only with the pattern testing, but on Saturday, for some reason, I had thought it would be a good idea to try and make a little Ninja Turtle keychain. So I will admit, it's really cute, it's nice and small. I love how the little cheeks are going out. I'm actually really proud of myself for being able to do this. I kind of took the beginning of this, obviously a lot smaller. I believe I increased up until 16 crochets. I then continued on with 16 crochets, and then I expanded it only in the little cheek areas. I did a couple of increases. I think it was 3 increases, and then normal single crochets and another 3 increases. And then I did I think it went up to 22 or 24 stitches, or, you know, single crochets, and then I did another just round of that, and then I did 2 decreases, and yeah, sewed it on together, or, you know, fastened off and sewn it shut. The eyes, I believe, was 10 millimeters. It was, no, actually it was 12 millimeters. That's right, it was 12 millimeters because I had to open up a new packet that I had purchased. So he honestly turned out so cute. And so obviously my hopes is to, once I finish these and once I've finished the other pattern or the other thing that I'll be needing to make this week, I'm hoping to do perhaps either 2 or 3 of each of the colors in keychain form. So fingers crossed. I have very high hopes or low hopes actually. I have low expectations of actually finishing all of that this week, but you know, one can dream. I will admit I am one of those people that put a lot of pressure on myself, and so being able to, you know, not being able to finish all those turtles, I was quite rough with myself this morning about it. But you know, as I went to work and I told myself, you know, it's fine, you're a working person, you only have 2 hours to an hour each night to do all of this, you're a slow crocheter, on weekends you're busy, I have to cook, I have to run errands, I don't get to just, you know, sit down and crochet. Sunday was probably the only day, and even then, you know, there's about 5 hours of that day where I have to do chores and I have to cook and clean, so it is what it is. And all that I can really do is just adjust my sleeping schedule, sleep less, crochet more. And yeah, I'm quite happy with it. I like the size. The yarn that I used was Patty's Plush, and I believe they just restocked today, so I'll be ordering some more because I'm quite low on this. And yeah, I'll make some more Ninja Turtle keychains, I guess. So on Saturday morning I went and ran some errands, and of course whenever I'm out and about I do tend to stop by Spotlight. I've got 2 kind of in the serenity of where I live. I would say one is about a 30-minute drive away from me, and the other one is about like a 20-minute drive around, you know, drive away from me. So I was heading in both directions, so I went to both, and obviously that's where I saw the new valuable yarn is finally in stock here. Australia got it before New Zealand. It's, I believe, already been on sale in Australia for about 1 or 2 weeks. However, it just came in stock here in New Zealand around Friday. So obviously, you know, I went to the Spotlight, I saw that they had it in stock, and I bought a bunch. And yeah, when I came home I filmed a little bit of a yarn haul, so I'll quickly insert that clip here for you to watch. Hi everyone, it's currently Saturday the 11th of April and I have a bit of a yarn haul to show you. Let me grab the 2 bags. Spotlight currently has a sale going on and they've released a new yarn. Obviously it's valuable, so we all know it's not going to last very long and it will be discontinued within at least the next 3 months. And after having a look online, I thought, ooh, this is going to be perfect texture, and I know very many other crocheters have already bought this that are over in Australia. And so when it finally came online in New Zealand, I quickly ran to the Spotlight this morning, and hallelujah, they had some colors in stock. Unfortunately some they didn't, and what they had on the shelves was very limited, because when I was talking to the lady at the counter, she had said that they only received it yesterday and they were only starting to pack it out last night. So obviously not everything's out, but now that I have bought some, I realize it's actually really lovely. It reminds me so much of the valuable Panda Velour. Sorry, I was just looking at it over there. The Panda Velour that came out, I believe, 2024. However, that stuff shed like crazy, but I have noticed that this does not shed. It's like a really good mixture between a chenille and blanket yarn. It almost reminds me of a slightly thinner version of Zaddy's Crafts, but very similar texture. So looking forward to making use out of these. I bought some very specific colors because I should really not be buying more yarn until I use up all the yarn that I've been purchasing the past 3 months. But I thought, you know, it's on sale. It's currently, I believe, only $6.30 for a skein, and for that's like 100 grams, which is an absolute bargain. So I thought, you know, while it's here, let's buy many of it, because like I said, I have plans for these specific colors. And yeah, I'll show you them. Well, I'll show you everything that I've purchased so far, and we'll go from there. So the colors that I bought, there's quite a few different kinds of colors, but I thought I'll just kind of quickly go through all the ones that I did manage to get in store. So we have 2 of the green. It's literally called grass green. So these are nice and lovely, nice and dark actually. We have 3 of the periwinkle. Oh, give me 1 second. So 3 of these. This is a really nice blue. I will say it is almost identical to the Parfait Chunky blue. It is so similar, which is really, really lovely. I will show you, because there's a little yarn end over here. Look at this. I am pulling so hard. It does not shed whatsoever. Like, this is amazing. I can't wait to use it. Oh, how awesome. I got 3 of the white. I will say the white has the slightest bit of a different texture. It definitely looks a little bit thinner than the rest, and it feels a little bit more velvety, but I'm sure it will work out just fine with the others of its kind. I also got 3 of the black, because you can never go wrong with black. However, I do actually feel like ordering some more, just to make, I know I had purchased from Parfait Chunky quite a lot of black to make toothlesses, but I feel like these would actually make slightly bigger ones, because it is just that little bit thicker than Parfait Chunky. I had bought 4 of the pinks. This is a little bit of a brighter pink. I would say maybe similar to bubblegum, but perhaps a little bit lighter. Bubblegum as if, you know, Parfait Chunky. But yeah, perhaps maybe slightly a bit lighter. I had bought 5 of these ones, which is, apologies, Ballet Pink, and dare I admit, it actually does look like Ballet Pink from Parfait Chunky. It's very similar. Perhaps maybe a little bit brighter or like lighter in color. I'll have to go and compare, I guess. And then last but not least, I had bought 3 of the purple. And let's just make sure that it is called purple. No, it's called lilac. Same deal really. I actually realized though that I would perhaps like to buy maybe a couple more of this, because this would be a really good color for Ditto. And for my upcoming event, Pokemon is on brand, I guess, so I feel like I ought to perhaps get a couple more, so I can perhaps just make all the Dittos out of this rather than ordering Parfait Chunky purple, because I currently don't actually really have any aside from for Rumi. And that's really it for the yarn purchases. I did also just purchase 2 of the floral wire. It's I believe 12 gauge and 5 meters. Reason being is because I want to make some Teletubbies, and obviously the antennas need some integrity, and so I thought this thicker wire would be perfect. It's really bendable, so it won't hurt anybody, and yeah, it's good. It's good quality wire. I've used a black one before, but I thought
let me get some extra because I'll probably go through that quite a lot because I'm hoping to make two colors of Teletubbies each. What a mouthful. And yeah, that's my yarn haul. I will probably, like I said, order some more. I might order some more of this blue and obviously the purple. I did see online there is also obviously a yellow, there's also a navy blue, a brown, a biscuit kind of beigey color, there is a cream, there's also a red. Yeah, those were unfortunately not yet on the shelves, so I will probably purchase a couple of each, probably only 3 or so of the other colors. I realized I actually didn't say what I would like to use these things for, so obviously purple for ditto. I bought the pinks for the axolotls, and I also bought the blue for the axolotl, and then I wanted to buy the navy for obviously the accent colors. The green is also for the axolotl because I still have some of the lighter green of the panda velour, so those would be, you know, perfect to go along. And then obviously, like I said, the black, I am thinking about some toothlesses. And I bought white because, you know, you can never go wrong with white. I don't really have any intentions for it yet, but I'm sure something will come about. But thank you for watching this yarn haul. I guess we'll go back to the video now. So yeah, I bought a lot of colors in hopes of making axolotls and lumas from Mario Galaxy, and so before purchasing even more while it's on sale, I thought to actually maybe, you know, give it a try, make an axolotl and see if I really, you know, actually like the texture and the feel of this yarn now that it's made in something. I had used ballet pink and pink for the little axolotl, and here it is. It is honestly so cute. It took me 28 minutes to whip up. He or she is nice and squishy, not as soft as I was hoping. I will say the skein is a lot softer than, I guess, you know, the actual plush, but I will say it's still really squishy and cute. I had used a 5mm hook. The pattern is by Crochet Grove. It's, you know, the set standard pattern that just about everybody do. Because of my tension, I obviously have to alter the spacing between the gills, so every time I make an axolotl I always have to do 5 single crochets instead of 4. The eyes are 10mm, and I thought, you know, they ended up really cute. And you know, with the yarn, each skein only being $6.40 New Zealand on sale, or $8 normal priced, it is honestly a bargain. Here is a little axolotl made out of Parfait Chunky for comparison. So this is also made with 5mm. However, the difference is the eyes are made with are 9mm, which is, you know, a lot smaller. And just look at the size difference. Like, I was quite surprised, you know, and this one only used 2 extra grams of yarn in comparison to the Parfait Chunky. But yeah, it is comparative. Like, I cannot believe how much of a bigger axolotl comes out of this. And you know, it makes sense because this yarn is slightly thicker than Parfait Chunky. I would say it's maybe like an in-between Parfait and Zaddy Crafts. However, the feel and the texture is so much more like Zaddy Crafts. It's a lot more denser, but it's honestly, it works quite smoothly. I really enjoyed it, and because I enjoyed it so much, of course, last night, while the sale's still going, I went and ordered a bunch more pinks. I ordered a lot more blues. I got some more purples, and I obviously got some yellow, more for Luma from Mario Galaxy than
for actually axolotls. But yeah, I am actually really happy with this yarn, and so once I get to the axolotls, I know now what yarn I'll be using, and yeah, I'm quite chuffed with it, so yay! Very cute little things. So my plans for this coming week, obviously it's to finish the Ninja Turtles. Once I finish those, which comes first, I will be making a gift for a work colleague of mine that is unfortunately moving away. I've been working with her since the day that I started in my current job, and I got the news that she is, you know, moving overseas and has resigned, which absolutely gutting, because she is honestly just an all-round really lovely person, and she is incredibly supportive. She was always watching my stories and been really supportive of my crochet business. She's actually even bought some things off me after the convention that I had in February, and so I thought, you know, to kind of give her a parting gift, I'd really like to make her a panda. She loves pandas. It's kind of like her thing. It's her favorite animal. She's got lots of panda trinkets, and you know, even her Instagram name goes homage to pandas, and so I thought I'd make her a panda. I'm currently in between 3 different patterns. I kind of have to decide which one I want to make. However, I would really like to make a panda out of the Feels Like Bliss yarn. I've got obviously slate and I've got white. I've got 2 of each, and so yeah, I'll be making her a little panda. It will be the first time that I'm going to be using this yarn. I've honestly never used it before. People speak highly of it, and it's super nice and squishy, so it will be quite an adventure for me. I'm no stranger to fuzzy and fluffy yarn. I have used like Bella Baby Chenille, which is quite a fuzzy yarn. I've made I've made sheep out of it. I've made like a bijon out of it too, and I've also used very similar like poodle swirly teddy bear kind of yarn as well. So I find, you know, fuzzy furry yarn pretty okay to use. I definitely know how to feel for the stitches, so I'm hoping this will be obviously easier to use, but I'm hoping it will be, you know, nice and quick, and I can make something really nice out of it. Unfortunately, I don't think the plush will be weighted because I can't get pellets in time. Her last week is, I believe, either next week or the week after next, so just after Anzac weekend, which Anzac weekend is a public weekend here, following, I believe it's the weekend of the 24th of April. So yeah, I'm a little bit time constrained, and I shouldn't be doing non-market prepping stuff, but like I said, she's a really good work colleague of mine. I've worked her for many years now, and so I'd like to make her something. So hopefully in the next chicken video I'll be able to show you a finished and completed panda bear. And yeah, that's really it. That's kind of my chicken. I'm setting my goals low this week by just saying 2 things. If we lived in a, you know, dream world, I would also like to finish off the keychains, but knowing my wrist, knowing all the extra things that I have to do this week, and on Saturday the additional errands that I want to run, I don't think I'll be able to do more than just, I guess, these 2 things. So yeah, that's really it. Thank you so much for watching this week's video. I really appreciate your support. If you like these videos, please give them a like, and please subscribe. I feel as if, obviously, you know, I'm just a newbie. I'm still learning how to do all of this, and at the moment I feel like I'm just sending these videos out to the void. So if there's any advice or, you know, any kind of chatting you would like to do, please leave some comments or message me on Instagram. Same kind of, you know, username, Rox's Craft. But yeah, thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you next week Monday. Bye bye.